Hey everybody, this is a grumpy old guy gaming back with another retro video, diving back into the Intellivision Lives collection again. We're gonna play some Shark. Fun little game here. It's fun. It's simple. I'm simple. It's delightful. I'm simple. We're gonna go with a one-player game here. Pop up the little controller overlay to make that selection. How simple is this game? Easy. I'm that yellow fish there. My goal is to try and eat all of the fish smaller than me while avoiding this shark and nibbling at its tail. The shark gets you, you die. Everything you eat, you get gradually bigger and you accrue more points. See on the top there on the left side, I got 4 lives left. On the far right is my score. I'm at 600 points already. Just because I keep nibbling at this shark. You just keep swimming around, and eventually, if you hit the shark enough times, you kill it. If it dies, you get a whole bunch of points. And you can see I picked up an extra life there. I'm already back to 5. And the second biggest size. We go after the shark again here. Up to the third size, you can see a bit more definition coming, and obviously the bigger you get, the bigger fish you could eat, but you also get to be that much bigger a target. Just have to avoid the fish that are bigger than you, and obviously the shark. See a little, like, lobster guy at the bottom there, lobster or shrimp. You'll see lobsters and crabs hiding down there on the floor. See a crab coming across now. Those guys will intermittently jump up and try and snag any fish coming by. You can't really eat those, so best thing to do is avoid them, but every now and then you could use them to take out fish that are an impediment to you. Just kind of swinging for the tail there. Like to try and get on the shark early for the points and the extra lives. Usually about the 4th or 5th kill it starts to really get to be a challenge. Obviously in a 2-player game there's another fish moving around as well, and you have to try and dodge them, at least until you're bigger than them, and then you could potentially pursue the other player as well as the rest of the environment. So very, very simple gameplay here. I'm just controlling this all with the left analog stick. There's a dash button that lets you dash forward slightly quicker than you move. So that little seahorse there, that green one, you have to wait until you get into the medium sizes until you're able to eat the seahorse, but you pick up a bunch of points for eating things like that. See some larger fish jumping in and out of screen as well. Now when you're big, you are a bigger target and there's less room to maneuver, but it also takes you less hits to down the shark. You saw there I took it down in 3. Right now I'm in about the biggest size you get for your fish. Start to see jellyfish work their way in as well. About the only thing I know that kills the jellyfish is the shark. So a lot of times you want to position yourself to where the shark could take out the jellyfish and then you could get the shark's tail, because if the jellies are swimming about, obviously that's less room for you to maneuver. Missed the shark's tail there, so I intentionally waited for it to come back before coming up and pursuing it. Already up around 10,000. I don't know. Probably one of the easier games to play. It's one of my son's favorites. Not when he starts dying, but you know. Not sure how long we'll play this. I'll set a random marker at about 50,000 points. We'll play till we lose a life after 50,000. Because you'll see, once I get on a roll here, we're going to start racking up lives like crazy. Diving all the way down on the bottom there for this one. Generally I don't like doing that because of the way the plants and the sand really obscure things. at the larger size, there's not too much you could miss. That's gonna distract you, but you know, any detail is good detail. There, I just kinda hovered, and I was hoping for a smaller fish, and then I mistimed my cut down. So picked up no points there and lost a life. We're down to 9. Still seems like a lot of lives, and in all honesty, it is. This is one of those games, like, if you go back and watch my Astra Smash gameplay, you could potentially lose a bunch of lives in quick succession once the difficulty ramps up. But comparatively, in single player, this isn't really a hyper-competitive game. I always look at it as sort of a de-stressor. Like, you come home and you want to play something nice and calm. Play this, maybe throw some classical on in the background. Of course, it is really fun to play 2-player, just for the sort of simple competitive nature of it. There, take the shark down real quick, and then I almost run headfirst into a jellyfish. I'm just sort of dodging around those guys. Every now and then you see me sort of flashing white for a couple seconds. That is an invulnerability shield. When you're flashing like that, I don't think the shark can get you. But I really haven't sat down and figured out the intricacies of that. Yeah, now you can see we're up to 16 lives, but that shark is starting to turn on a dime. Like, it's to the point where I'm doing my best to gauge when it's going to, you know, change direction. But it's moving a lot more swiftly, and it's changing directions a bit more erratically. There, we just scooted up to get the shark's tail as the crab was jumping up to get us. If you're not careful, you know, you could be in some pretty tricky positions in this game. Yet another thing, it's a good passive teacher of, you know, positioning. Getting in the right spot for your next play, and always be thinking about the following move rather than just the one you're doing. There I got a little sloppy. I tried to cut the corner on the diagonal instead of going straight down, and the shark turned right around after I nibbled it and died. Yeah, it just got me. That one was kind of slick. I slid right under its belly and got the tail. And then, like I do if I missed the tail and let it go away. It changed direction though, so I got my second chance and made the most of it. So already up to 25,000. I promise you the next 25 is not going to go near that smooth. But we'll do what we can. Again, another near miss on the tail. This time I just barely escaped the shark's mouth and do get another kill. I like to grab those seahorses when they come by. And of course, you know you're in pretty good standing as far as the streak you're on when you start seeing the jellyfish come by. Once again, got a little sloppy with my steering there, with my navigation in the water, and the shark gets me. It's not a super difficult spot you have to go for on this. Basically anywhere on the back quarter of that shark is its hitbox. You've got more than enough room, especially when you're a smaller size. Yeah, the smaller size takes a lot of hits. But as you can see, I only need to move a few pixels up or down from that shark. Pardon me. And I'm relatively safe there. Here just over 32,000. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm a bit wary. Even if I think I've got a good line to the shark, I kind of want to take a bit more of an indirect line. Let it change direction so I know what it's doing, rather than, you know, just guess and hope that my timing's good. There I thought the shark was going to turn back, and it ended up swimming the whole way off screen, so the hit count is completely reset, but I'm at the large size, so it doesn't really hurt me all that much because the hit count needed to fill it is 3. Don't know what happened there. That must have been just turning as I hit down. Bad timing more than anything else. Just kind of sliding through here. And yeah, that was a tricky spot. I probably shouldn't even have tried for that, but the points were too tempting. And again, I got 25 lives. Like, when you're sitting there with 25 lives, it's real tough to say, maybe I should ease up. That's just me personally, and perhaps that's what hurts me sometimes on these playthroughs. I get a bit too aggressive with my resources, but for me, that's all the fun of the play. That was just stupid. I should have moved a little further right there. I knew better than to take a beeline like that, but I figured with as fast as the shark was swimming, I had a pretty good chance at that. There, I think my finger slipped off the analog stick. Just kind of stuck in place there, and that's never a good position to be. Now at this point, I just want to take the shark down. Nothing else really going through my head, because I had a couple bad beats. Wait for it to change directions twice, that way I know I have a good angle, and there it goes. So we're just over 38,000, still 23 lives on the counter, and we're building ourselves back up to a larger size again. I would say probably this size here is probably my favorite place to be. This is where you could start looking at taking down those seahorses and things, but you're still small enough that there's a bunch of maneuverability, and the screen still felt very large. See, I already upgraded to the next size up. Almost feels too quick to move from that third size to the fourth. But who's here to complain? You could see the shark just ripping right through those jellyfish, and incidentally myself as well. Sitting at 40,000, so we've had a pretty good run of it thus far. Only really had one bad spell. Of course, judging by the time left on this video, I'm assuming we're about to hit bad spell number 2 at 42,000 here. Just keep going after the shark. After all, the game's not called Random Fish, Random Fish. It does kind of spell out your main objective at the beginning. From what I remember reading of the history of this game, it was designed by a lady who had never played video games. You know, wasn't really familiar with them. And she was in college and just sort of liked the philosophy. I think it was built on the saying, big fish eats little fish, if I remember correctly. And she built this simple, fun, playable game. And, you know, here I am in 2020, still playing it and still enjoying it. Wasn't enjoying that right there. Yeah, taking a header into a shark just seems like a bad life choice for about any video game character. See, we're knocked down to 21 lives. Bad luck, bad timing, and just the shark's newfound agility sort of taking us to task here. A little bit of eye fatigue wears into it too. You play these games and kind of tough to focus after a little bit. Not trying to make excuses. Again, I certainly feel we're doing fine here. Not going after any world records, but, you know, a good gameplay to 50,000. Can't really argue with that. You have your fun, you achieve your goal, and you go about your biz. Not really sure if the air bubbles do anything. They look nice. Actually, when I was doing this little playthrough here, my son was sort of in my ear going, you know, you could eat the air bubbles. I just sort of nodded while I was thinking, yeah, but why? 46,600. 18 lives left, and again you see the air bubbles slowly trickling up there. Another takedown of the shark gets us ever closer to our goal. Got a small fish coming up too, but I was more wary of the shark and I let it pass. Here you can see it's moving so fast, I'm just moving straight up and straight down. At this point, that's the safest play. That way I'm clear of the mouth when it turns. Didn't do too good a job of evading it there. But I'm close enough, and I know my strategy this time. Get to a clear spot, and then straight up and down. Getting a little bit of side movement in, but that's mainly just an insurance policy. In fact, I take an intentional miss there just to sort of get past it. Now we're winding down here. Just over 50,000, get a nibble on the shark, go after some of these smaller fish. One more takedown. Gives us a chance to clean house a bit here, wrapping up this video. And there's the end. So 51,850 I believe that was. Guys, thank you for watching very much. This has been Shark for the Intellivision, and this has been a Grumpy Old Guy Gaming. Hope you're doing well, and we'll see you in the next one.